Hey guys, today on quitting GPK. We're on part 37, by the way. Yesterday I actually did a second video, part 36, that's on GPK Underground. So if you want to go check that out, you can. Anyway, today I'm going to tell the history of Topps Garbage Pail Kid minikins. I'm going to try to keep this concise and under 15 minutes. Especially the part when I actually start talking about the history. So I got out my master set of minikins. Now, we don't count the blacks as part of the master set. They're a special type of rare. I guess we could count them as far as part of the master set. But no one has yet to complete the black set. Also, you can see some golds in there. I'll tell you what those are. So some of you guys were around back in the day. This would have been 2013. Some of you weren't. Let me get my computer down. It's right here. It's ready to go. I just need to pull it down and we'll start the video. Wow, I got 5 people in here today. That's great. You guys ready? I don't know if I can do this in 15 minutes, but I know I can do it concisely, stream of consciousness, basically. Okay, guys, here's the history of Topps minikins. I found the photo. Remember the one I was talking about yesterday? Anyway, here it is. The date was April 12th. I think yesterday I said it was April 11th. Wow, my memory's crazy. That's what it's like being on the spectrum. I was one day off. Look at this. Here is what I was talking about. Topps posted, obviously, a binder teaser, right? But what's this shit right here? Here we see Stacy, and there, we didn't know who it was, but we thought it was Mug and Megan. Pretty sure we zoomed in on it, etc., etc. Also revealed that day was the Topps wallets, but that was the star. Here I have some comments from 9 years ago. Wow. It goes on and on. You know how I ramble. Topps ended up using one of my comments. It's down lower somewhere in the product guide. All right. So that was April 12th. For me, that was spring break. I was at Myrtle Beach. I got the news. A friend called me to tell me, Bud, you can't quit now. They're fixing to make cheap toys. I was like, cheap toys? And he was like, yeah. So we thought that was going to be Series 3 cheap toys. We were wrong. Whatever. So skip down to October. We got a release date, October. It was going to be 2 weeks after the Philly show. The Philly show of 2013. You know, we just had a Philly show last weekend. You know, the Philly show is something that Topps used to use as a, you know, something to talk about future products. Anyway, during the Philly show, they introduced minikins, and they had a live event, and I watched it live on Facebook. Some of you did too. And they talked about minikins. They didn't show us many more, but they did show us Atom Bomb. And Atom Bomb was in gold. And they had a raffle, and a guy won the gold Atom Bomb. They also had another raffle where they gave away a pack 2 weeks early. Guess who won that pack 2 weeks early? Not me. I wasn't in Philadelphia that day. Clint Coleman was, though. And that lucky bastard won the first pack of minikins. What did Clint do? He listed it on eBay. And of course, you know who bidded and who won. Russ Van, obviously. So I got to open the very first pack of Topps minikins. Now, I'm telling you this story because Topps also announced during that 2-week period, remember between the Philly show and release day, there was 2 weeks. Well, during the panel at the Philly show, they announced a gold video contest. When people got their packs, and if they wanted to, they could make a video with their new minikins, and maybe, if they got lucky, if they got chosen, Topps would give you a gold figure. Now, wouldn't you say I had an advantage? Because I got my pack 2 weeks earlier than the rest of the world. So, and I have that video of me opening it somewhere. Anyway, the first character I ever pulled out of the pack was Nat Nerd. And here's my video. I made this video the very first day. And you'll see how lo-fi it is. In the bathroom, in the mall, Barnes & Noble, trash can, restaurant, car, toilet, a little toy I found, another trash can, Target, water fountain, the mall, sticky fingers, trash can. So, oh, that one's weird. Let me go back to that one. This was, I put it in a freezer at Walmart, and there's Nat Nerd right there. So my idea was I needed a video quick. I needed to get this out. If I had the advantage of having the first pack 2 weeks before the rest of the world, here was my chance. I could get a gold figure before anyone else. I could win the contest. What's a fucking video I can make? Okay, I have an idea. I'll just put Nat Nerd on a window, take a picture. Put Nat Nerd in a Starbucks coffee, take a picture. Put a Nat Nerd up my ass, take a picture. And so I collaged all those little snapshots, put some Descendants behind it, you know, the band. Trash can, dumpster, crate, oil drum, dumpster, tree. Found that. My shoe, my grill. All right, so I was able to make this in one day. Look at the date I posted this. Was Minikins released on October 6th? No, Minikins was released on October 13th. So I released the first video, obviously. Well, I won it. Now, what I didn't know was, and what I wish I had known, but I don't know if I could have done anything about it, is they gave you the figure that you made the video of. Had I had the chance to do it all over again, I would have made a video for a different character. But you got to understand, I only had two characters at the time. I only had a Nat Nerd and a Bony Tony. Atom Bomb had already been given out. But if I had my absolute chance to do it all over again, and if I actually had those toys to do it right, I would have done maybe Nasty Nick or Dead Ted, you know, something like that. But as it was, they sent me. I can already tell this is going to be over 15 minutes. Anyway, here it is. The very first Topps Gold Minikin Contest prize. What was so cool about this is Topps. What I honestly, you know what I like even more than this is the letter they sent me. You remember when we were kids and you would look on the back of a Garbage Pail Kids wrapper, and sometimes you could like buy Garbage Pail Kids shirts, like I did that one time, or hats. I think it was a hat or something, and some other things. There was always I always had like a fantasy of like just kind of like riding in the Topps. Like I didn't know what to really do with myself then. You know, you just wanted to like be a part of Garbage Pail Kids. And that was sort of like your entryway into Topps. It just felt like on the back of those wrappers. Anyway, it just felt so good to finally get something from Topps, man. Russell, thanks for making such an awesome minikins video. We hope you love the figures as much as we do. Now, as you can see, I also have Miguel's. I'm missing one, though, because, as you'll see in a minute, the other gold I have, the seller decided that he wanted the letter. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I could ever get rid of this letter. I would get rid of this before I got rid of that. And you know, Topps ended up giving out 2 more golds. And you know those 2 people who got the golds, the last 2 golds, didn't get a letter? Only the video contest winners got the special letter. I lost my place. Anyway, we're going to look at some toys now. All right, let me get organized. I got a bunch of crap out. Okay. First of all, just know this is what they look like. Here's a 1 and a 2. So I've been talking so far about Series 1. Here's what it looks like. This is a 2013, October 2013 release. What we quickly noticed when they came out, these were not cheap toys. They're not called cheap toys. They're not even the same size as cheap toys. They're a little smaller. These are also made out of a really soft rubber, like a bouncy rubber. Inside here is my master set. This says Missing Peach Michael Mutant. Yeah, I do need to find that. I accidentally sold my Peach Michael Mutant. When you see my Peach minikins, you won't believe I have a pile this big of just peaches. Actually, those are Series 2. Okay, anyway, here's the Series 1s. Now, in here are all my best painted Series 1s. So I bought thousands and thousands and thousands of these. Every time I saw minikins, I bought them. And I was a pre-seller during that period. I told that story yesterday. Some of you bought chrome from me. Some of you bought minikins from me. Well, I bought cases and cases of these myself. And I took all the best examples, and that's what's in this bag. So if you look at Spacey Stacy, her eyes are pristine, perfect. Perfect paint, no problems. Nothing on the shoes. If you look at my example of Cracked Jack, pristine, perfect eyes, focused in one direction. Every paint app is pristine. So this is my master painted set. And it took thousands and thousands to pick from to make that. They made yellow, which was the rarest store rare. So if you were just buying the regular packs, the rarest you could come up with was the ultra rare yellow. Typically, what I figured out, it took 5 packs to find 1 yellow. Packs were around $3 a piece, if I remember correctly. $2.99. So you're talking, you know, a good bit of money just to get 1 yellow. But anyway, here's the whole set. They also had 3 other color parallels. Green, which is a bitch to find. I'll be honest, it was almost harder to find green sometimes than yellow. Oh, here's a note here that says hi. These are the best examples. All these are the best examples in my collection. So because you know these were made by Snap-on, which is a toy brand. I believe each figure, if not every figure, was made in 2 molds, and they snapped them together and glued them together, heat glued them together. What's a good example? Yeah, so if you look at Stan here, Stan Alive, his head was made separately than his body, and they glued it together. Well, you can find some Stan Alive where his head is turned the wrong way or to the side or weird. It's wonky or like slightly turned over. So in mine it says high, not because I was smoking weed. I don't smoke weed, but because out of all my examples of green, these are the pristine ones. Oh yeah, Nasty Nick was a pain in the ass. This one is perfect. All these are highs. Perfect examples. Now this is interesting. It says sky. A lot of people don't know this. A lot of you weren't here. There's two examples of blue. These are the sky. No one owns those but me. You had to buy so many fucking minikins, and you had to be smart enough to pick them out and to know about them to even put together a set like this. It was very hard to complete. These are all the light variant. Complete. Alright, so let's switch over to Minikins 2. They gave us another 26 characters. When was this announced? The Philly show. Philly show 2014. They leaked semicolon. And whoa. Did I forget some history? I don't remember. They leaked two though, because there was a screen where you took a little survey, like a little funny survey at the Philly show. Was anybody at the Philly show 2014? I wasn't. I was live. I was there like on my computer, but anyway, there was a questionnaire, and it actually leaked Minikin semicolon. All right, but anyway, here's my master set. Yeah, I did accidentally sell Michael Mutant the other day, and I thought I had another one, but I'll get them. Anyway, oh yeah, best. That means these are the best examples as well. Now, I bought, look at Adam, pristine, perfect, everything. No smears, nothing, just... I ended up buying 5 cases of Minikins. By cases, I mean 16 boxes per case. And I bought every Minikin I found in stores. And I even ordered some more off of a toy site. Yeah, so I don't know how many thousands and thousands of packs and toys that is. But anyway, they made yellow, yeah. Greens. Reds. And blues. These are the mini stickers. Oh, these are mint as well. So I put together only my perfect mint cards that are perfectly centered and everything. And each set, I just put a set with it. So I always have them. And Peach came with hobby boxes. They actually made a hobby box for Minikins. Only in Series 2. That came out in 2014. Some of you don't remember this, but Minikins 2 was delayed. You know, delays are not something new to the hobby. There's been a lot of delays with Topps products over the years. All right, last but not least, the money shot. Let's take a look, guys. These are the super rare blacks and the impossible to find golds. I'm going to have to put you down just a second to get these out. Let me put them on here, actually. So, like I said earlier, no one's been able to complete the black set yet. There's been 3 people try. The first guy to try... The first guy to try to complete the Black Master set decided to quit Garbage Pail Kids, just like I'm doing now. In fact, he's selling a piece of art today. He's still kind of in that process of getting rid of his collection. That's probably going to happen to me where I quit initially, but over time, I'll throw things out to the hobby here and there. The blacks, these are very, very hard to find. What we pretty much came up with as a community, it took somewhere between, well, at one time we said it was 250 packs. You had to buy 250 packs. Now, times 250 by $3, that's $750 to get one black. And if you look on the back of a minikins wrapper, does it say black anywhere? You see the word black? Who remembers what the first black minikin found was? It was actually found on the first day of release. A guy pulled it out of a Target minikins 2-pack. Here he is. It was actually Dead Ted. We thought it was a mistake. We couldn't figure out why Topps put out something they didn't announce. Like, especially on a pack, you would think the pack is believable. You're supposed to, you know, this is written on a pack. I mean, who else are we supposed to believe? And then someone pulls this out. All right, so let's put all the Series 1 blacks up here. And I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, here we go. So, Nasty Nick. Yeah, I do have black Nasty Nick. The next up is Dead Ted. Just put the fucker down. Here he is, Dead Ted. Dead Ted's extremely rare. I personally paid $350 for this one. He has gone for $600 in the past. Nasty Nick, we had a cluster of 3 of these at once on the market, which kind of scared people away of thinking maybe he wasn't rare. But now we've gone 5 years without seeing one. You know how it is in Garbage Pail Kids. You'll see 5 and then you'll never see it for another decade. Think sort of like maybe like bop bags or those bubble sets. You see them in clusters. It's the same with these really rare minikins and cheap toys. Now, I don't have Atom Bomb, but I do have the next one, which is Black TV Stevie. He's extremely rare too. I think there's only 3 of these known. I paid around $250, which was a steal. Sorry, I'm under a flap, so I have to keep lifting this up. Okay, let's get the next row. So, Corroded Carl, Creepy Carl. Sorry, I don't even know if I own Carl. I don't see him. I own Creepy Carol because I pulled this from a pack myself. It was in a Target pack, a 4-pack. I pulled that myself. And I had it on video. My daughter was with me. She opened these with me. Brainy Janie's next. And yeah, I do have Janie. She's rare too, but she's very unpopular because her head is so big. But there's very few of those known. But she's only worth like $100 because the figure's pretty bad. Next up is Anna Banana, and Buggy Betty. I don't know if I own those. You see him? Oh. Yeah, Buggy Betty. My daughter pulled this out herself out of a Target. I mean, not Target. Walmart 2-pack. And then we went back to the Walmart every day for like 2 weeks to wait on the next batch. Okay. Yeah, I do have Muggin' Megan. She's next. There she is. Next up is Doug Plug. By the way, while we're looking at these, notice they have a metallic sheen to them. It's got almost a glitter. On the bottom it says Topps and it has the year. Next up is Cyclops Leaky Lindsay, Russell Muscle. Here's Russell Muscle. Yeah, history time's over. As we're just looking at my rare minikins. Let's see. Okay, so I only have this one next. Okay, Crack Jack. I don't own that one. Spacey Stacy. Black Stacy's one of the holy grails of Garbage Pail Kid toys of the genre. There's 2 of these in existence. I paid $3 for her and thought I'd won the lottery. Mark Bark, I pulled. This is the very first black I ever pulled. I actually had. I will say I've always told people I do have bad luck, but when it came to blacks, I pulled probably personally like over 10 blacks myself. But that's because I bought so many cases, you know. Next up is Michelle Muck. She's not very rare, but she's pretty popular. She goes for around $150 these days. And I don't see the next guy, who is Berserk Kurt. Let's see. Oh, I do own Boney Tony. He's the next on the wrapper. Oh, I wish I did own Richie Wretch in black. He's very rare in black. The next up is Nat Nerd in black. Then Stand Alive, DJ, Salted Sean, I love him, and then Fiery Francis I don't have. So here is my Series 1 Blacks collection so far. Oh, what I was telling you earlier, there's only been 3 people to attempt the set, the black set. The first one quit Garbage Pail Kids 2 years ago due to marriage problems. I don't know. Well, it was like just family problems. Anyway, that's his business. We all have family problems. The other guy, he's nowhere close. And then the third guy is me. So, all right, let's see. This is Series 2 minikins, and here's what we have to go through. First up is Weird Wendy and Slobby Robbie. I don't have Weird Wendy, but I definitely have Slobby Robbie. At one time, I had 3 of these. I had some weird luck of finding black Robbies. First of all, when you're filling a pack, yeah, I did pack search back in the day. But to be fair, I ended up just buying them all anyway. But it was kind of fun to pack search, because you could obviously feel something that big in this pack. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, there's Slobby Robbie. Uzi Susie, Graffiti Petey. Don't see him. Mad Mike, Double Heather. Jolly Roger, Hot Scott. Here's Hot Scott. Wow, he looks cool in black. Little evil fucker. Next up is Karate Kyle. God, I wish I owned him in black. He's extremely rare in black. I think there's only like 1 of them known. It's crazy. That's another reason why we can't finish the black set. There's like either missing characters or like, I don't know. Like, I just don't see them. The next one is the amazing black Grim Gem. She's got to be at least 250 by herself. Lovely figure. Next up is Mushy Marsha. Don't have it. Then Fishy Phyllis. Don't have it. Okay. Toady Terry. Looks cool. Alien Ian is next. Rare, highly desirable black mannequins. There's actually 2 people looking for this right now. Next up is Dale Snell. I don't have it. I wish. Harry Harriet. Don't have that one. I sold that one. I've sold some of these. And then Michael Mutant. I have that one. Lenny. Don't have it. I do have Adam Boom. And notice how they cut the mushroom off the top of Atom Bomb to make Adam Boom. I love that, actually. Good idea, Tops. Next up was Pete Seat. Don't have it. Waxy Wendy. Don't have it. I do have the amazing, very rare Black Clark Shark. Yeah, when I pulled that from a pack, that was a good night. This came out of a hobby box. Semicolon, don't have it. Trap Dora, don't have it. Bouncing Bert, got it. And then the last one is Yeti Eddie. Got it. So as you can see, my Series 2 is lacking. That's mainly because I sold 5 out of my set to collector number 2, who I didn't really discuss. I don't want to give him the pleasure. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually kind of a friend of mine. No, he's cool. All right, guys. Let's. Last thing are the golds. Yeah. Here's Gold Nat Nerd. Notice the rubber is marbled. It's also glittery, like metallic in person. It glistens, but in this weird marbling. Incredible. Stamped, of course. They only made one of these. It's a 1 of 1. The next one I got was Michelle Muck in gold. If you go on YouTube, you can watch the winner of gold, Michelle Muck. So he made a video and he won that, but he decided to sell it. He actually sold it to someone in Italy, and it took me over a year to talk the guy in Italy to selling it to me. But anyway, it's back in Georgia where it started and where it ended. Good try, Cheap Toy Man. Last but not least is my absolute favorite. Here's the holy grail of all minikins. I like this way better than even Atom Bomb Gold. I don't give a fuck what you say. Remember back to that picture that Topps leaked. Remember the binder. Who was it? Who was it, class? Who the fuck was it? Spacey Stacy. Holy shit. Y'all have a good day. Russ Van and Spacey Stacy out. Incredible.